So let's talk about now the right and the left, what's going on with Congress, everything like this. Is our third topic of the day. And I think we're asking the question right now, fam. Are the Republicans going to outleft the Democrats? Because we're sitting here waiting for something to go on. Now, as you know, in the House, they passed the HEROES Act. But the HEROES Act has $3 trillion and a lot of pork in this bill that really does have nothing to do with the economic slide, without have anything to do with this, with the crisis right now. It's just pork. It does have an extension for the $600 a week going through December, but the White House and McConnell have tried to push a $1 trillion package and extend the unemployment. $600. And McConnell has said, forget about it. You're not getting the HEROES Act. I'm not giving you $3 trillion. So right now we're stuck in this standstill. And what are the Democrats trying to do? They're trying to point to the right and say the right's the one who's holding up. The right saying no. These Democrats are trying to go with a bunch of pork.
Exactly. So just to clarify, Mitch McConnell actually leaves the door for the extension of the $600 a week unemployment benefits through next year. The problem is he's waiting on Trump to support it. Now, Trump has said that he was willing to support like a lot of. He said Medicare for all. He said UBI. So it's not about Trump. He's not willing to support it. It's about the fact, like as Pasta said, Democrats like Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer put in other legislation that has absolutely nothing to do with helping people
and nothing to do with COVID.
And nothing to do with COVID, and they try to get their shit taken care of. Their money. They try to get their foundations or organizations money, whatever it is they want. It's just like filler for the Democrats, and the Republicans don't want to do that. They have they're like, no, we're not going to do that for you. So that's why things don't get passed. It's not just because the Republicans say no. It's because the Democrats try to put shit in that isn't even about us. And the Republicans say no to that. And then they have this little hissy fight in Congress and nothing gets done. Yeah. So we need to understand that. We need to understand how these things are packed.
Yeah, it's the way they also frame it too as well. Hey, listen, we want to extend your payroll taxes. We want to suspend your payroll taxes. We want to expend your benefits and stuff. But the Republicans won't let us. They won't pass this bill. But they're not telling you there's a bunch of pork with it in that when they're framing it. So they just point the finger. The mainstream media helps them. You know what I'm saying? And now you have a standstill, like you said, a hissy fit going on in Congress. But let me say something, fam, because people were talking yesterday. I was watching Crosstalk, and I agree now. If the election were today, Biden would probably beat Trump with everything that's going on because it's so crazy.
Yep.
But the door has been open in two areas and the third area. Number one, the first area is when the debates come, I think it's going to change everything.
Yeah.
Once Trump gets Biden on the stage for debates, forget about it. Joe is going to be in a lot of trouble. And that, I'm sorry, but that's going to really sway a lot of public opinion on those debates. They did last time. The other two areas is where right now we have a standstill in Congress. The Democrats want the HEROES Act. The Republicans don't want to give up the $3 trillion. The Republicans have proposed less of the benefits, like $400 a week. And now Donald Trump is saying by executive order he's considering an action to suspend evictions, suspend the payroll tax, and extend the benefits, through December of $600 there. Now, the whole thing about it is the suspending of evictions. If Donald were to pass an executive order extending the benefits for $600 and some type of serious rent relief and some type of mortgage forgiveness, I don't think he can lose the election, fam.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I don't think he can lose.
If the Republicans were smart, if Donald Trump was smart and wanted to literally win the election, all he has to do is be like, okay, we're going to extend the benefits, or even just directly give people money, whatever that is.
He's got to do something about the rents.
Absolutely.
If he does something about the rents, because we're talking about poor people, people of color, we're talking about areas that are devastated and stuff, he can really give them a bonus and say, here, I'm going to help you out. Look at the Democrats. They didn't want to do this. And not for nothing, fam. The Democrats have not done anything, even locally, when it comes to rent forgiveness. Nope. All they're doing is kicking the can down the road so that in a year, everybody's going to get thrown out of their freaking house and people are going to be on the streets. And both parties right now. And I wish Donald Trump would take his head out of his ass and freaking do something if the Democrats don't do something. Right. We need you to forgive rent. This is the number one issue on the table. If you don't forgive rent, people are going to be on the streets.
Right. And the Democrats really haven't pushed anything like this. And the fact that he's even considering this. If he does this, he's going to outleft the Democrats, and that is hilarious to me. But it is how bad things are. I mean, these people are just just horrible. And Joe Biden, Joe Biden
that's a bunch of malarkey.
a red state media blitz. So I mean, Joe Biden's a Republican. Are they doing the
same thing again? Remember Chuck Schumer? For every state we lose over here, every person we lose, we're going to pick up 2 blue dog Democrats or Republicans in red states that are moderate and stuff. We'll go. They were focusing on those votes, neoliberals and center Republicans. And now they're doing it again. It didn't work last time. But what are you going to do? Joe is going to try to go into some red states and try to get some votes.
Well, he's not going to get any of the independent voters. He's not going to get any of the libertarians. He's not going to get
They don't
the
care
young
about
people
progressives. They don't care.
Yeah.
You can win on a populist, leftist, progressive platform.
You can.
But they don't want to win,
no,
fam.
because they're stupid.
They don't want.
They don't want to win on that platform. That's
oh, my God.
So Joe is reportedly, according to his wife, Jill Biden, he is going to be debating Donald Trump, but he is not going to go to the convention because of COVID. So, again, once again, as we said the other day, they're using the excuse of COVID to keep Joe under wraps because he can't really formulate sentences. He's not there. I don't know how he's going to be president, but...
The guy shit his pants on national television, right?
And an example of that, we don't know if that happened.
I saw it, fam. Why the hell? I know it's short, Johnny.
Why the hell would I take a test? Joe Biden says he's not participating in a cognitive test. So someone interviewed him, and you just got to hear this.
Have you taken a cognitive test?
No, I haven't taken a test. Why the hell would I take a test? Come on, man. That's like saying before you got in this program, if you take a test where you're taking cocaine or not, what do you think, huh? Are you a junkie?
What do you say to President Trump, who brags about his test and makes your mental state an issue for voters?
Well, if he can't figure out the difference between an elephant and a lion, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Did you watch that? Look, come on, man. I know you're trying to goad me, but I mean, I'm so forward looking to have an opportunity to sit with the president or stand with the president in debates. There's going to be plenty of time. And by the way, as I joke with him, I shouldn't say it. I'm going to say something I probably shouldn't say. Anyway, I am very willing to let the American public judge my physical and mental my physical as well as my mental fitness.
Have you taken a cognitive test?
No, I haven't taken a test. Why the hell would I take a test?
I mean, you just asked him a question.
That's like saying gives you before you got in this program.
Why do you want you to take a cognitive test like that?
And it's funny he mentioned cocaine because that is what people have to do. They don't have to take a cognitive test, but they do have to take they have to take drug tests to make sure that they're okay when they get welfare. That's a whole other thing. It's just funny he mentions that because he was one of the he pushed policies like that on a lot of poor people. So I just had to laugh at that because that's one of the things he pushed for.